So here we go. So this is this presentation or this session will be about the basics of electrical multiple unit and about the EMU and MEMU power circuit and some electrical equipments which are there in the EMU and MEMU. We'll be also discussing about that also. Okay. So abhi tak I think this is the third day of the course, and I think till now what we have covered is what is train set. We have covered what is distributed power rolling stock, and we concluded that we can loosely say that they are more or less the same thing. एंड वो ट्रेन सेट की टेक्नोलॉजी डीपीआरएस की टेक्नोलॉजी क्या है वो आप ऊपर ऊपर से आई थिंक आप समझ गए हैं. And after that, I think we had the demo part, where आपने डेमो के बारे में अच्छे से समझा होगा. And especially 1600 HP डेमो का सेशन आज सुबह से था. And we also had a visiting lecturer from Medha talking about the very same 1600 HP demo. So now the demo part, I think it has been taken care of. Now we will start with electrical multiple unit, and mainline electrical multiple unit. So my first question is ki how many of you are working in EMU or MEMU car sheds currently? Is there anyone who's working in MEMU or EMU car shed in this group? कोई है आप में?
Sir, I am working in Memu Shed.
Okay, where exactly?
Sir, Vadodara, Western Railways.
Okay, Naveen. So you are in Vadodara Memu car shed. So in Vadodara,
Yes.
actually, currently, who is heading the Memu car shed? There must be a DEE, or who is heading it actually, or you are heading it?
Sir, D is on independent charge.
D is independent charge. Okay, and then you are reporting to him, sort of. Is that the
Sir,
case?
I'm reporting to him, but my reporting is to senior DME BRC also.
You're reporting also to CND and BRC also. Okay, quite a complicated arrangement. I had been to
Sir,
the BRC car shed. I think कितने साल पहले, maybe 3 or 4 years ago I had been there. So yeah, that's right. Then also one D was there. The purpose of my visit was actually we had to replicate the model of the car shed at Vadodara at Bina in West Central Railway. So I was in DAB Bhopal, and I was asked to go there and understand कि वहाँ का क्या setup है ना, how can we replicate and these kind of things. So that was the thing. That was my first exposure actually for this EMU and MEMU maintenance and car shed. पहली बार मैंने देखा. Okay. Anyway, so you are there. Okay. I think Naveen के अलावा there is no one else. I think because no one else has owned up. Okay, no problem. So my purpose of asking the question was कि for most of you this may be something new. I am guessing that आपके लिए थोड़ा नया होगा. इसीलिए ये जो PPT है, I've kept it at a very basic level. इस पे मैं I have not made things very complicated as such. और मैं ज़्यादा कॉम्प्लिकेट करना भी नहीं चाहता कि बिकॉज कॉम्प्लिकेशन विल नॉट बी गुड फॉर यू ऑल्सो एंड नॉट विल नॉट बी गुड फॉर मी ऑल्सो बिकॉज आई हैव पर्सनली नॉट वर्क इन मेमू और EMU. The content which currently I am presenting is mostly on the basis of whatever literary or whatever literature I have found related to EMU and MEMU or three-phase EMU. उसके basis पे we have made content at IRMI, and of course on the basis of exposure or visits to some of the car sheds also. But I think from the maintenance point of view, if you have some issues, if someone has any doubts, उसके लिए हमने एक separate session रखा है on Friday where one visiting lecturer will be there who will delve into the maintenance and troubleshooting aspects in EMU and MEMO. Okay, so the sessions which I will be taking will be predominantly be about the basic concept of EMU and MEMU. एंड दिस इज फॉर द सेक ऑफ दोज हु आर कंप्लीटली न्यू टू दिस फील्ड, जिन्होंने कभी काम भी नहीं किया है और वो जानना चाहते हैं. ठीक है. सो ऑन दिस नोट आई विल स्टार्ट द प्रेजेंटेशन. And so EMU electric multiple unit, that day we had discussed, and we know that the electric multiple unit can run under 25 kV AC or even 1500 volt DC line, but this does not exist, but we still keep writing it everywhere, no problem. But I believe 25 kV AC is the mandate and that is what is being followed. तो उसी के अंडर हमारे जो इलेक्ट्रिकल मल्टीपल यूनिट्स है या मेन लाइन इलेक्ट्रिकल मल्टीपल यूनिट्स हैं इस लाइन के अंडर रन करते हैं. And the advantage of the EMU and MEMUs, that was, it was very clear on the very first day that they have very high rate of acceleration and deceleration. That is one of the primary advantage, the reason why we are slowly switching over to these things. Okay, ये चीज हमें पहले से clear है. Another thing was that I think we discussed that that in an EMU rig, if we consider one unit, in one unit we have three coaches, and in MEMU in one unit we have four coaches. Okay, so in EMU we discussed that we had around 33.3% powering, and how much powering is there in MEMU? MEMU में कितने percentage powering हमने discuss किया था उस दिन? Anyone recall? Anyone remembers? No idea. MEMU has one motor coach for every three trailer coaches. So how much percentage powering that does that add up to?
33% सर
33% सर
नहीं 33 तो EMU का हो गया, मैं MEMU का पूछ रहा हूँ.
25% सर
25% हो जाएगा
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल. तो वो है था, तो ये चीज आपको पता है, तो इस पे जाने की जरूरत नहीं है. दूसरा कन्वेंशनल EMU, ये भी आपको पता है कि एक मोटर कोच होता है जिसमें पैंटो है और आपका TC दो ट्रेलर कोच होता है. ये कन्वेंशनल टाइप EMU है. सो व्हाई हैव आई रिटन कन्वेंशनल EMU? कन्वेंशनल EMU क्या, व्हाट इज द मीनिंग ऑफ कन्वेंशनल EMU? एक बोलने का तरीका है एक्चुअली. दिस इज इफ समवन नोज देन
डीसी ट्रैक्शन मोटर सर
DC traction, that's correct. So conventional EMU means we have DC traction motor, right? Okay, so in this motor coach, when we say that we have the powered wheel, so this is basically DC motor. So that is why we say call it conventional EMU. So what about the EMUs with AC traction motor? What do we call them? Unconventional EMU? No, not unconventional EMU. We can call them three-phase EMU, right? So about three-phase EMU we'll be discussing tomorrow. Today's discussion is primarily about conventional EMU only. Okay, because still we have many rolling stock over Indian Railways which are conventional. I mean, MEMU and EMU, many MEMUs and EMUs are still conventional. There are many conventional EMU rakes and MEMU rakes also. So that is why today I will talk about conventional EMU / MEMU. Okay, and one thing again, the first day also I had made clear that the power circuit, control circuit, and most of the things are predominantly they are more or less similar in case of EMU and MEMU. Okay, they are more or less similar. There are minor modifications, so I have chosen to ignore those modifications. And when I talk about EMU, so you must understand that MEMU is also being discussed, and everything will be on similar lines in MEMU also. Okay, so that thing should be clear. So yeah, so in a motor coach, we discussed that we have a motor coach. We have 81 seating capacity. For seating capacity is 81, standing capacity 162, and 243 is the number of passengers it can hold in total. Okay, that is the seating capacity. And also plus the standing capacity. But of course, number of people traveling may be more. It depends. Okay. And in case of a trailer coach, we have 108 seats, 216 passengers standing. So 324 we have the capacity of number of passengers which we can accommodate in a trailer coach. Okay. So this is just a basic, a very brief detail, nothing very important. Okay, another thing is that in every year we must have seen in our EMUs or MEMUs, we have these kind of jumpers going running through the coaches, running across coaches. These are like we can compare it to the IVC coupler network which we have, the feeder line network which we have in an LHB coach. It is little similar to that on similar lines. एंड जनरली क्या है कि आप EMU की बात करें तो A, B, C, D और E, 5 type of jumpers you will find in EMU, and in MEMU you will find only 4, A, B, C, D, 4 jumpers you will get. Okay, so actually the E jumper was added later for the case of these your air suspension unit at secondary stage. Though the EMU rolling stock have those air suspension which we had discussed that day for basically for super dense crush load, so they have this additional jumper. But MEMU, still in MEMU we are having those secondary coil spring in secondary stage. I am not sure about the three-phase MEMU. Maybe in the three-phase MEMU they are having the air spring suspension, but in the conventional one today, since we are talking about conventional only, सो फॉर कन्वेंशनल पर्पज से देखें तो MEMU में 4 जंपर होते हैं, EMU में वी आर हैविंग 5 जंपर्स. ओके. And the purpose of these jumpers is, of course, to communicate the electrical feed from driving units to all the trailer coaches, for control of light, fan, circuit, and these things also. And वो drive information जो है. Now, one thing that we discussed that day was that all the motor coach should be synchronous. All the motor coach throttling should be synchronous. The motor coach braking action should be synchronous. So everything should be synchronous. अगर synchronous नहीं रहेगा, so that would be a big problem. In order to ensure that synchronicity, we need to have these kind of jumpers running across the whole network. Okay. So A jumper may, if you talk about various jumpers, what kind of circuit wires are going through it. Okay, you can have a look at it. I don't have any interest of going through it. It's just taken right out of the manual, so you can just have a look at it later. But the purpose is to bring home the point that these jumpers are there for transmitting the electrical feed across the coaches. So we have this conventional type EMU MEMU which we are talking about, has a single reduction gear ratio of 20:91. Single reduction gear ratio of 20:91, and axle capacity 20 tons. And EP type of braking भी है इसमें, pneumatic type braking and EP type of braking is there in these rakes. We have a transformer with 1000 kVA rating at 25 kV for the 25 kV supply. We have 4 number of traction motors per motor coach, or per unit means in a motor coach we are having, remaining trailer coaches do not have any traction motor. Traction motor horsepower 1 hour rating. This is the short term rating. If you remember the lecture of CWM Charbagh, Manish Pandey sir, he differentiated between the continuous rating of a traction motor and the short term rating of a traction motor. I think these two things were clear. एंड ये भी बहुत क्लियर था कि शॉर्ट टर्म रेटिंग विल ऑलवेज बी ग्रेटर देन द कंटिन्यूअस रेटिंग, बिकॉज वो कम पीरियड ऑफ टाइम तक है, तो वहां तक वी कैन एक्सट्रैक्ट मोर पावर. ओके. सो दैट शॉर्ट टर्म रेटिंग, अब जनरली इंटरनेशनल स्टैंडर्ड्स में शॉर्ट टर्म जनरली 15 मिनट्स होता है, बट इंडियन स्टैंडर्ड्स में वी हैव डिफाइंड एज 1 आवर. So 1 hour rating of traction motor is averages around 251 HP, and continuous is 224 HP. This is for one traction motor. If you multiply by 4 तो overall HP आपको मिल जाएगा एक मोटर कोच का. ठीक है. And this is the TM current, traction motor current voltage, and the battery which we have 90 ampere hours battery, and we have 50 cells multiplied of 2 volts each, and around 100 volt supply we are getting. ठीक है. So this is the very basic. Okay, now let us come to the DC EMU schematic. Before you go to the schematic, any doubt or any questions up to this point? Okay, no doubt, no question. Okay, so अब schematic पे चलते हैं. So the schematic, okay, very first thing is your OHE, second is your Panto. From the Panto, okay, I'll just load this whole thing and then I will explain. Then it will be okay. So the very first thing is your OHE here. Okay, we have the OHE, overhead equipment, 25 kV supply, and the power is being tapped by the Panto. On the Panto, it is going to something called as a VCB. Something called as a VCB. What is a VCB? Anyone?
Vacuum circuit breaker.
Vacuum circuit breaker.
So this is a vacuum circuit breaker. It is like a circuit breaker. Okay, we have many circuit breakers. For example, हमारे घर में for household purposes, what kind of circuit breakers do we have? You must have heard also. Miniature circuit breaker, MCB. We call it MCB. So they are miniature circuit breakers. But of course, the amount of power which is being handled here is very, very high. So those kind of circuit breakers won't work. And we have something called as a vacuum circuit breaker which we employ. What is the principle of working of vacuum circuit breaker? That also we'll discuss, because as I said, we'll be discussing the basics of the components which we have. Very basic also we'll be discussing, so that you know what the component is. So I'll be discussing it in the coming slides. So there is a vacuum circuit breaker, and then we have a transformer. Okay, where we basically, what do we do with the transformer? We step down this 25 kV, we step it down to an optimum voltage which we can handle to run our traction motor. Okay, but at this particular stage, after stepping down, our power, currently we have single phase power. Still we have single phase AC, because we have the AC power which we have tapped. Now this power is supplied through a network of tap changers. There is a network of tap changer, but there is a network of contactors, actually relay contactors, and some relays also for protection. These are there, and we pass the power through these tap changer units, and then we send it to main rectifier. So what is the purpose of tap changer? What do you think, why this tap changer has been provided?
For notching purpose.
For notching purpose, it's obvious. So we want greater speed or we want less speed, so for that purpose we have this tap changer. Okay, so this is the point where we get the speed control. Okay, स्पीड कंट्रोल यहाँ मिलता है. ठीक है, प्लीज रिमेंबर दिस पॉइंट, बिकॉज कल जब मैं 3 फेज एसी की बात करूंगा, एसी ईएमयूज की, then we will discuss ki which is the point where we'll get the speed control in ACEMU. It is different from that. No tap changer, there is no tap changer concept in ACEMU. Okay, so this is the speed control point. यहाँ से एक तरीके से आप अपने स्पीड और एक्सेलरेशन एंड दीज थिंग्स ये नॉच अप करके एक तरीके से आप यहाँ से कंट्रोल कर सकते हैं. ठीक है ना. So we'll talk in detail. Currently I'm just talking the basic schematic so that you have this image, this layout in your mind. Tap changer के बाद then power goes to the main rectifier. What does the rectifier do? What does the rectifier do? AC to DC convert करेगा सर. It converts AC to DC. ठीक है. And because our traction motor is DC, तो हमें तो DC चाहिए था. And then there is a motor switch group जिसके थ्रू हम अपने DC motors को सप्लाई देते हैं. This is a very simple layout. I don't think इसमें कोई डाउट होगा. ठीक है. If you memorize this thing, good to go. अब थोड़ा और डिटेल में धीरे धीरे घुसेंगे. Let us start with the pantograph. Okay. So there is something called as a pantograph. The purpose of the pantograph is to tap power from the overhead equipment. Okay, and we know that we can raise the pantograph, we can lower the pantograph. We need 4.5 kg per cm square pressure to raise the pantograph. Okay, and but if for some reason if the pressure falls below 3.5 or 3, I think, then we cannot hold the pantograph, it will get lowered. So that pantograph we have to tap the power. Okay, now I have what I want to show you is a small video on pantograph which will give you a very clear idea about what it is.
The overhead current supply system plays an important role for an electric locomotive. The overhead line is called the catenary system, and the power is transmitted down to the motors via a pantograph of the locomotive. In this video, we will learn about the pantograph mechanism. So, the question arises, what is pantograph? A pantograph is a device which is mounted on the roof of an electric locomotive. It unfolds and extends along a vertical axis. Its role is to collect power through an overhead tension wire and send it to the transformer. The main components of a pantograph are base frame. The base frame supports the fixed part of the frame and is mounted on supporting insulators of pantographs. Base frames are usually made of profile steel, plates through extrusion, or steel tubes through splicing or castings, and profile steel through splicing. Lower arm and upper arm. The basic parts of a pantograph is a lower arm that pivots against the roof of a loco and is attached to the upper arm that is in turn attached to a collector head. Main spring with yoke assembly. Balance rod and carbon strip, etc. Carbon strips are proved to be the most suitable material to copper and copper alloy contact wires. Carbon strips have good self-lubrication and arc withstanding and can meet the dynamic need of high-speed pantographs. Compressed air system assembly. There are two types of pantographs, like single arm and double arm pantograph. The most common type of pantograph is the single arm pantograph. When a locomotive is to be started, the pantograph is pushed up with the help of air pressure, which is delivered by a small compressor, delivering air at pressure of 7 kilograms per square centimeter. And some modern pantograph, using a piston cylinder. This pressure pushes the pantographs, and up till it touches the contact wire. But, if there is any disconnection for a short duration, it won't affect the power supply, because the capacitor will be there, after the rectifier, which will ensure the energy supply all the time. Spread globally. Never stop your learning. An electric locomotive is a locomotive, powered by electricity, and the electricity comes from the power station, through overhead lines. Generally, electric trains run on direct current, but the overhead lines carry 25,000 volts AC. So, there is a process, where current converted AC to DC. Some devices are installed at the rooftop of locomotive. These devices used to protect the locomotive from short circuit and overload currents. In this video, we will learn the rooftop components of an electric locomotive. Pantograph. It is a special device mounted on electric trains, to collect current from overhead lines. Collector bar. It is a component of pantograph used to collect the current. Roof line. Vacuum circuit breaker, VCB. It is a main component of electric supply, from overhead wire to locomotive through pantograph, which is a transmitting device of power from overhead wire to the locomotive through vacuum circuit breaker. Surge arrestor. It is a device to protect electrical equipment from overvoltage transients caused by external, lightning or internal switching events. Potential transformer. It is a voltage step-down transformer, which reduces the voltage of a high-voltage circuit to a lower level. Resistor harmonic filter. It is connected with the primary winding of the main transformer, which consists of a resistor and capacitors. Friends, one share.
Hello. I hope the audio in the video was audible. Was it
Yes, sir.
audible? Okay. So,
Yes, sir.
sometimes what most of the times the feedback which we get in our courses is that if we can, no, most of the contents are just taught to us from the PPTs. It is in the written format. But some say that if we have some kind of animation or if you can have some kind of video, then perhaps it would be better, or it will be easier to understand. That is why I shared with you this video. I have not made this video. This video is there on YouTube itself. You can go and check. But I thought that it is appropriate to be shared during this session, so as to give you a clear picture, a visual picture of the pantograph and the overhead equipments available. Especially in that video, it talked about I think it was a WAP7 locomotive, electric locomotive. But more or less the same thing is there in case of an EMU. The RC filter and all those things may not be there in the conventional EMU, but The pantograph is there, the vacuum circuit breaker it is there, and the surge arrestor. So these things are there in the EMU and MEMU also. Okay. Okay, so now what we have seen, that we know that the power is getting tapped by the transfer by the your pantograph. So when we tap the power, now we it goes to the transformer. Okay, it goes to the transformer. Now this transformer is another very important equipment in our in all the electrical rolling stocks, be it your in case of your electric locomotive or in case of your EMU or MEMU. So transformer, the purpose of a transformer is of course to step down the voltage to an appropriate level, which we can further use to gain traction. Okay, so the transformer which we are using in this case, this transformer has a total of it has one primary winding and it has four secondary windings. Okay, so we can say it has one primary winding, एक primary winding, and it has four secondary windings. Okay, like these. So what are these four secondary windings? You will clearly see two of them are for traction purposes and two of them are for auxiliary purposes. By auxiliary I mean is the hotel load and the other things. Okay, so auxiliary circuit run करने के लिए होता है, ठीक है. And this is of course an oil cooled transformer. It's an oil cooled transformer. Okay, so the rating of this transformer is 1000 kVA rating का है, and no primary the primary winding we have 25 kV at 40 amperes. This is ideal condition. Okay, and the secondary winding ये जो secondary winding है ये traction वाले winding का बताया जा रहा है. तो traction वाले winding का we should have 782 volts at 1280 ampere ideally. Okay, but I said that we have two other auxiliary winding also. So first, in the first auxiliary winding we have 266 volts at 55 ampere, that is the output we get from the auxiliary winding, and the second auxiliary winding we get 141 volt at 250 ampere. So it's an exercise. If you multiply this 782 multiplied by 1280, 266 multiplied by 55, and 141 multiplied by 250, this will be equal to 25 multiplied by 40. You can calculate. Okay, and that is the basic principle which we have studied. Transformer primary winding or secondary side pe, the overall power is same. The power will be same, which is of course the product of the voltage and current. So the power will be same. Primary side, secondary side will not, ideally it should not get dissipated. Actually तो dissipate हो ही जाता है, losses are there, but ideally it should not get dissipated. So that is why what I was saying कि these are ideal values. Okay, rated जो कहते हैं. Okay, and the frequency 50 hertz single phase. Okay, that is there. It is oil cooled. OFF is basically for oil cooled. Okay, thermostat setting 75 degrees Celsius. We'll talk about that. So now one thing that is there in the transformer, there is something called as a BIR, which is the Buchholz indication relay. ठीक है, Buchholz indication relay. Has anyone heard about this Buchholz indication relay ever? BIR के बारे में सुना है कभी? At least the participants who are from the MEMU and EMU background. हाँ, someone was saying something.
Yes sir, सुना है.
हाँ, क्या पर्पस रहता है इसका?
सर इसका पर्पस रहता है कि अगर ट्रांसफार्मर में कोई गैसेस एक्यूमुलेट हो जाए तो वो गैस तो BIR में एक्यूमुलेट होगा और वो BIR एक्ट कर दिया जाएगा और PCB को ट्रिप कर देगा.
Good, perfect, good. So yeah, बिल्कुल, you are absolutely right. Actually क्या है कि this is one of the protections, है ना, over a type of a heat protection which is provided to the transformer. ठीक है, one heat protection, एक तो thermostat control heat protection है ही, but this is another sort of protection which has been provided. तो जैसा कि मैंने बोला था कि ट्रांसफार्मर जो ऑयल कूल ट्रांसफार्मर है, ठीक है, सो आवर ट्रांसफार्मर विल गेट हीटेड, ऑफ कोर्स इट विल गेट हीटेड, एंड इन ऑर्डर टू अब्सॉर्ब दैट हीट, है ना, टू अब्सॉर्ब दैट हीट एंड डिसिपेट इट इन सम फॉर्म, वी हैव दिस नेटवर्क ऑफ ऑयल. एंड ये जो ऑयल है ये सिर्फ ट्रांसफार्मर में नहीं जाता, ये चोक टैंक में भी जाता है और रेडिएटर में भी जाता है, ये सर्कुलेट होता रहता है थ्रू दिस पंप. ओके, सो नाउ इफ द ऑयल इन दिस नेटवर्क, इफ इट गेट्स हीटेड, if the oil in the network, if it gets heated, then what will happen? the property of the oil is कि when it gets heated, it starts producing gases. What does it start producing? It start producing gases. Okay. Now यहाँ पे क्या है, एक Buchholz relay है. It is called Buchholz relay, and this is basically उसका internally the diagram is like this. The layout is like this. Okay, from transformer tank यहाँ से, and this is the conservator tank. So the oil will come here. So if gases start forming, so there is a kind of a floating device here. Okay. So oil level पूरा ऊपर रहेगा, तो इसका position इस तरीके से पूरा ऊपर की ओर रहेगा. But when the oil level starts going down, इसका it will start becoming horizontal. Okay. ठीक है, it will start become horizontal, and when it starts becoming horizontal, there is a switch which detects it, and a sort of an alarm is given. An alarm is given to the LPALP that the transformer oil level has started decreasing due to some reason. Okay. उसके बाद ये अपर फ्लोट है, देन देयर इज अनदर लोअर फ्लोट लाइक दिस. अगर बहुत ही ज्यादा ऑयल कम होके इस लेवल तक आ गया, पूरा ही कम होने लगा, then the lower float will also go down, and this time lower float जब नीचे चला जाता है, then during this time your VCB relay interlocking है, ये जो अपना Buchholz indication relay है BIR, it is interlocked with your VCB. ओके, VCB सर्किट के साथ इंटरलॉकिंग है इसकी, कि अगर ये एक्टिवेट हो गया, अगर ये एनर्जाइज हो गया रिले, देन इट विल ट्रिप द VCB, और VCB ट्रिप करने से क्या होगा? VCB आपने ट्रिप कर दिया, मतलब यू हैव स्टॉप्ड रिसीविंग पावर फ्रॉम द OHE, OHE. ओके, सो आपने पावर लेना ही बंद कर दिया, सो नो पावर इनपुट. ओके, so that is why this protection has been given. So this oil heating may happen because of course transformer is getting hotter. ट्रांसफार्मर की प्राइमरी वाइंडिंग और ये साइड किसी वजह से, कोई किसी तरीके से कोर में कोई डैमेज है या कुछ इंटरनल कुछ प्रॉब्लम है, ड्यू टू सम एबनॉर्मलिटी, if heating occurs in a transformer, then this is a protective mechanism. Okay, so this is Buchholz indication relay which has been provided. Okay, another level of protection which has been provided to our transformer is the transformer thermostat. And this is very simple. Thermostat ka, we know what is the thermostat principle. So whenever the temperature goes above 75 degrees, ट्रांसफार्मर का टेम्परेचर 75 डिग्रीज के ऊपर चला गया, तो एक ट्रांसफार्मर टेम्परेचर रिले TTR है, वो एनर्जाइज हो जाएगा, and it is interlocked with the motor contactors. It is not interlocked with VCB, it is interlocked with the motor contactors. ठीक है, तो वो मोटर कॉन्टैक्टर्स को सप्लाई कट कर देगा. सो बेसिकली योर ट्रैक्शन मोटर्स विल शट डाउन, आपके ट्रैक्शन मोटर्स नहीं चलेंगे. सो उस हिसाब से ट्रैक्शन आपका बंद हो जाएगा. ठीक है, so that is this is another protective mechanism which has been provided for the transformer overheating से बचाने के लिए. ठीक है, ओके, ट्रांसफार्मर हो गया. सो एक पैंटोग्राफ एक इंपॉर्टेंट कंपोनेंट है जो हमने देखा. सेकंड इंपॉर्टेंट कंपोनेंट ट्रांसफार्मर है जो हमने जिसके बारे में हमने देखा. नाउ we have the traction motor. We have the traction motor in our EMUs, DC traction motor, of course. So I'll just request you to watch this, pay attention to this video. This is a very simple video of DC motor working, but just have a look so that you are clear about what the principle of working of DC motor is. और इसको जब आप देखेंगे तो कल, tomorrow when I'll be talking about AC traction motor, asynchronous motor, I'll show a video for that also. You will be able to appreciate the difference between them two, or you will be able to compare, and you yourself will say which one is better and which one should we use in Indian Railways for traction purposes. Okay, so this is DC motor for you.
You can find DC motors in many portable home appliances, automobiles, and types of industrial equipment. In this video, we will logically understand the operation and construction of a commercial DC motor. Let's first start with the simplest DC motor possible. It looks like this. The stator provides a constant magnetic field, and the armature, which is the rotating part, is a simple coil. The armature is connected to a DC power source through a pair of commutator rings. When the current flows through the coil, an electromagnetic force is induced on it according to the Lorentz law, so the coil will start to rotate. You will notice that as the coil rotates, the commutator rings connect with the power source of opposite polarity. As a result, on the left side of the coil, the electricity will always flow away, and on the right side, electricity will always flow towards. This ensures that the torque action is also in the same direction throughout the motion, so the coil will continue rotating. But if you observe the torque action on the coil closely, you will notice that when the coil is nearly perpendicular to the magnetic flux, the torque action nears zero. As a result, there will be irregular motion of the rotor if you run such a DC motor. Here is the trick to overcoming this problem. Add one more loop to the rotor with a separate commutator pair for it. In this arrangement, when the first loop is in the vertical position, the second loop will be connected to the power source. So a motive force is always present in the system. Moreover, the more such loops, the smoother will be the motor rotation. In a practical motor, the armature loops are fitted inside slots of highly permeable steel layers. This will enhance magnetic flux interaction. Spring-loaded commutator brushes help to maintain contact with the power source. A permanent magnet stator pole is used only for very small DC motors. Most often, an electromagnet is used. The field coil of the electromagnet is powered from the same DC source. The field coils can be connected to the rotor windings in two different ways: parallel or series. The result is two different kinds of DC motor constructions: a shunt and a series motor. The series wound motor has good starting torque, but its speed drops drastically with the load. The shunt motor has a low starting torque, but it is able to run almost at a constant speed, irrespective of the load acting on the motor. Unlike the other electrical machines, DC motors exhibit a unique characteristic: the production of back EMF. A rotating loop in magnetic field will produce an EMF according to the principle of electromagnetic induction. The case of rotating armature loops is also the same. An internal EMF will be induced that opposes the applied input voltage. The back EMF reduces armature current by a large amount. Back EMF is proportional to the speed of the rotor. At the starting of the motor, back EMF is too low, thus the armature current becomes too high, leading to the burnout of the rotor. Thus, a proper starting mechanism that controls the applied input voltage is necessary in large DC motors, which is capable.
Okay, sorry for the for the goof up. My microphone was on. Perhaps that may have caused some disturbance. So, were you able to listen to the audio of the video? या उसमें कोई disturbance था? Should I play it again?
No, sir. No, sir.
Okay.
No, sir.
So now having watched this video about DC motor, so in this explanation in this video, it was said that there could be two types. One is the DC series motor and one is the shunt motor. Okay, depending on how we are giving the supply. So what kind of motor do you think which we are using, series or shunt in our case?
Series motor.
Series motor. Why so? Why do we use DC series motor?
It required
का starting torque
because
high होता है.
Correct.
Is high.
Its starting torque is very high. We saw that plot of DC series motor. The DC it is sort of the starting torque is very high. Okay, and that is what we need actually to move on to start initially. But of course, you saw that as the speed as you go on, then with the increasing in load, the speed starts decreasing. That is the trend which we see with the DC traction motor. And those kind of issues. For that, there were various kind of managements which were being done. In case of a Alco locomotive, we used to have a 6P6 parallel configuration of traction motors, or 2S3P type of a configuration of traction motor arrangement. In EMU, we have something called as a tap changer, which modulates the amount of you can say amount of power going into the traction motor. Okay, कितना पावर हम ट्रैक्शन मोटर को दे रहे हैं वो उसको मॉड्यूलेट करता है. जितना हम टैप बढ़ाते जाते हैं उतने ज्यादा हमें नॉचेस मिलते जाते हैं, उतना पावर ग्रेजुअली बढ़ता चला जाता है. ठीक है. And as a result of that, we get more and more speed. So we sort of tinker with this the motor characteristics slightly by increasing the supply voltage. Okay. So anyways, so this thing is very clear that we use DC series type of a motor, and 4 traction motors are used. The gear ratio, we know that. Okay. And the parameters of the traction motor, again, it is just plain and simple facts. You can have a look at it whenever you get time to. Okay. Really, I cannot make much sense out of it. It is just that there is the comparison between 2 type of traction motors which I generally use. So more or less similar. One is attaining up to maximum 1200 RPM. So another one is again roughly similar. ठीक है ना. And power rating, एक का 224 HP, दूसरे का 250 HP. ठीक है. Okay. So if we have 4 traction motors, तो around continuous rating HP जो हमें मिलेगा 1000 HP तक we can get. Okay. Compare this now. Compare this to Alco locomotive. How much HP do we get from an Alco locomotive? Say WDM 3D, WDM 3 series. How much HP horsepower rating do we have Alco locomotive?
3300.
3300. So this is less powerful than Alco locomotive, or is it more or less similar? See, to 250 HP is for one traction motor. Okay. So if I have a EMU rake consisting of 12 coaches. Okay, listen to my question very carefully. There will be no quiz in this course, but in general, we ask this course to our probationers and who are going through training. If we have 12 coaches in our set, in our DPRS, okay, 12 coaches are there in our EMU rake. So how much overall power rating, how much overall power will we be getting in that rake? It may be distributed power, but how much? Given that the continuous rating of one traction motor is 250 HP. So how much will you multiply with 250? What is the calculation? Break it up. What is the calculation?
2688 2688.
No, it depends. आपने 224 से मल्टीप्लाई किया 250 से. मैं 250 बोल रहा हूँ. ठीक है. To make it easier.
3000.
हाँ, कैलकुलेशन देखिए.
6000 हो जाएगा.
Very good. आपने सही बोला है. तो for the sake of
250 into 12.
Correct. 250. हाँ. For the sake of those who could not get it, मैं बता देता हूँ. So if we have a rake of 12 coaches, how many motor coaches will be there?
3.
4.
EMU, मैं अभी EMU का पूछ रहा हूँ. Sorry. Again, my mistake. 4. अगर MEMU होता तो 3 होता. तो 4 हो गया. तो 4 motor coaches में, in 4 motor coaches, how many traction motors will be there?
16.
16 traction motors. So you multiplied 16 by 250, you get 4000 HP. ठीक है. And 4000 HP is more than 3300. So overall power you are getting more than the case of your Alco. Okay. And that Alco is used to pull the maybe even sometimes 24 coaches also. Here to only 12 we are pulling with 4000 HP. Okay. So you can see how much power you have at your behest, how much power you have. Of course, you may have power, but you are limited by the adhesion limit that we have realized from the lectures on the first and second day. कि power जितना भी हो आपके पास, अगर adhesion नहीं है तो उस power का आप कुछ नहीं कर पाएंगे. Rail wheel interaction point is very important. Okay, but we should know that there is something called as a power rating. So this is some theory related to DC motor. You can go through it later. जो concept है वो है. I think we are clear about it. There is no doubt about this. Moving forward, rectifier. So next very important component which is there in our which you will see in the layout in our power circuit is a rectifier. So rectifier, there are two rectifiers. There is a main rectifier and there is a auxiliary rectifier. Okay. So the main rectifier is there for the traction circuit, and it converts AC into DC, and that DC is supplied eventually to our DC traction motors. Okay. And this this auxiliary rectifier, actually this auxiliary rectifier which we have, it produces DC, and this DC is given to, I will show you, but this is basically given to auxiliary equipments like some of the lights, or it is given to your main compressor and these things. Okay, so that for that it is there. We'll talk about the main rectifier. The main rectifier has 6 bridges. You must have seen the bridge rectifiers. So it has 6 such bridges, and each bridge has 4 silicon diodes, and it is protected by 500 ampere rating का HRC fuse. ठीक है, HRC एक तरह का fuse होता है, and 500 ampere rating का, तो उससे ज़्यादा current अगर आए तो it will blow and it will disconnect. So that is there. The input to the rectifier which is given is 782 volt single phase AC at 50 hertz, and the output which we expect from the rectifier is 535 volt DC at 2640 amperes. ठीक है, this is the input side and this is the output side. So that is there. Each diode is provided with an aluminium heat sink which is forced air cooled by rectifier fan motor mounted inside the rectifier cubicle. तो जो ये डायोड्स हमने बताया, यू सी द रेक्टिफायर जब ये रेक्टिफिकेशन का काम करता है तो इट गेट्स हीटेड अप. ओके, इट गेट्स हीटेड अप. सो वी नीड टू डिसिपेट दैट हीट, अदरवाइज वो रेक्टिफायर हीट होना एंड रेक्टिफायर का जो फ्यूज उड़ जाना, दिस इज अ वेरी कॉमन प्रॉब्लम which we used to face even in the diesel locomotives also. So with any rectifier which we have, so we need to have good heat sinks here. So we have aluminum heat sink, and it is force air cooled by rectifier fan motors to dissipate that heat. Okay. Okay, now let us come to something called as the VCB, which is the vacuum circuit breaker. The purpose of the vacuum circuit breaker again is to connect the OHE with the main transformer. It comes between the OHE and the main transformer. ट्रांसफार्मर हमारे मोटर कोच के अंदर है, OHE ऊपर है, पैंटो से हम पावर लाते हैं, बट बीच में एक आता है समथिंग कॉल्ड एज अ वैक्यूम सर्किट ब्रेकर. ठीक है. सो पर्पस ऑफ एनी सर्किट ब्रेकर इज आइडियली टू ब्रेक कॉन्टैक्ट, ओपन द सर्किट बिटवीन द सोर्स एंड द लोड, है ना. आइडियली इट शुड रिमेन नॉर्मल कंडीशन में क्लोज रहे, बट जब भी कुछ अबनॉर्मल हो तो वो ओपन हो जाना चाहिए. राइट, और एम आई रॉन्ग? सर्किट ब्रेकर का पर्पस तो यही होना चाहिए, है ना. नॉर्मली इट शुड बी क्लोज्ड, but if there is some abnormality, if something kind of it is observed, then it should get opened somehow. Of course we should have manual control also, but वैसे कंडीशन में, वर्किंग कंडीशन में अगर मैं बोलूं तब उस कंडीशन में. ठीक है. So now what happens is that how much voltage do we get from the OHE? We get 25 kV. Okay, 25 kV. Now 25 kV, this high amount, this voltage and high current, when it is flowing through the any circuit breaker, what do you think? If the circuit breaker, let us assume कि ये circuit breaker के दो ends हैं, ठीक है, और आपने इसको ओपन कर दिया. आपने initially they were connected, it was closed, the power was flowing through it. Now you want to open it, or maybe due to some over current, और ये जो हमने इंटरलॉकिंग अभी बताया, वो इंटरलॉकिंग की वजह से हमने इसको ओपन कर दिया. सो व्हाट डू यू थिंक, क्या ये सर्किट ब्रेकर आइडियल कंडीशन में वर्क करेगा विद सच अ हाई पावर? विल इट ब्रेक द फ्लो ऑफ करंट? इफ देयर इज एन एयर गैप हियर,
there will be an arc. There will be an
Jumping will take place. Reduction.
There will be something called, there will be an arc formation.
There will be an arc between the contacts.
There will be an arc. Okay, what basically is happening is dielectric discharge of this medium. ठीक है, dielectric discharge. Okay, I cannot write the whole thing, but जो मीडियम का एक dielectric constant होता है, हम सब ने पढ़ा है. ठीक है. एंड इस पर्टिकुलर पोटेंशियल में इतना स्ट्रॉन्ग इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड प्रोड्यूस होता है कि डाइलेक्ट्रिक डिस्चार्ज हो जाता है. मतलब आपका मीडियम, इट मे सीम देयर इज नथिंग इन द मीडियम, बट इवन विद द एयर मीडियम इट विल डिस्चार्ज, इट विल कंडक्ट. ओके, सो दैट इज वेरी बैड. If arcing is there, so you have not been able to disconnect the circuit also, and this arcing can lead to fire and all those hazards, and it can completely damage your circuit breaker and components, everything. Anything can happen. Okay, arc blast with something called as an arc blast also, which can happen. So this is very dangerous. Okay, so we don't need that. We need to avoid it. So उसको avoid करने के लिए हम क्या करेंगे? We have something called as a vacuum circuit breaker. यहाँ पे क्या करेंगे? We have a vacuum chamber. Okay, this is nothing but ये जो this type of this box which we have, this is a vacuum chamber. Okay, it's a vac chamber. तो यहाँ पे सबसे पहले तो हमने वैक्यूम डाल दिया एंड उसका जो प्रेशर है इट्स 10 to the वेरी लेस 10 to the power -6 torr TOR. Now you may convert it to bar or Pascal. Please don't ask me what is the conversion, but that is what I read. 10 to the power -6 torr. But the pressure ना के बराबर. It is vacuum medium basically. Okay. And हमारा circuit breaker में क्या है कि the distance between the two contacts, there is a fixed contact and moving contact. इस distance को भी हम कम करना चाहते हैं. तो हमारा जो सर्किट ब्रेकर यूनिट है वो काफी एफिशिएंट और बल्कि भी नहीं होगा फॉर हैंडलिंग दोज हाई करंट्स. तो दी ब्रेक, ये जो गैप है इसको कुछ 1 या 2 सेंटीमीटर के रेंज में ही हम रखना चाहते हैं. तो इसके लिए हमें एक वैक्यूम चेंबर बनाना. व्हाट वी डिड इज वी मेड अ वैक्यूम चेंबर एंड नाउ व्हाट इज हैपनिंग इन दिस वैक्यूम चेंबर इज that whenever this kind of a disconnection is happening, okay, so whenever this kind of a normal condition में this is there is connection, and when disconnection is happening, okay, then of course arcing will happen. This arcing will happen, okay, but since the medium is vacuum, why vacuum happens? वो reason भी जान लीजिए कि due to the high potential field, electrical field here, these tips get heated up and यहाँ का air ionize हो जाता है. तो एयर आयोनाइज हो जाता है, तो दिस लीड्स टू दिस काइंड ऑफ एन आर्किंग. बट सिंस वी हैव वैक्यूम मीडियम हियर, दिस आर्किंग इज नॉट सस्टेन्ड फॉर वेरी लॉन्ग. इट डाइज आउट इवेंचुअली ये इसको कहते हैं आर्क क्वेंचिंग. आर्क क्वेंच हो जाता है, आर्क जो है वो मर जाता है, आप बोल लीजिए. सो आर्क डाइज आउट इन अ वेरी शॉर्ट पीरियड ऑफ टाइम. ओके, एंड वी अटेन दैट डिस्कनेक्शन विदाउट मच हैसल. बिना ज्यादा टेंशन के, बिना ज्यादा झंझट के हमें वो डिस्कनेक्शन मिल जाता है एंड इमीडिएटली द कनेक्शन बिटवीन द OHE एंड द ट्रांसफार्मर वो हम बंद हो जाता है, वो कट ऑफ हो जाता है. सो दैट इज व्हाई वी यूज दिस वैक्यूम सर्किट ब्रेकर, बिकॉज they are the best in the business to handle such a very high amount of voltage. Okay, they have excellent arc extinguishing properties. They are very reliable. They are like they require very less maintenance. They are quieter also. So that is the reason for having VCB. Okay, and the arc is generally extinguished in the very first half cycle. Half cycle matlab if you're talking about the cycle of an AC alternating current, as soon as ये पहला ये इस point पे जब आता है, ये nodal point पे आता है, यहीं पे आपका arc extinguish हो जाता है. और भले ही उसके बाद नेगेटिव हाइक साइकिल में जाए, कुछ नहीं होता है, देयर इज नो आर्क, इट्स फिनिश्ड. सो यहाँ पे आपकी इस पोर्शन में आपका आर्किंग होगा जैसे ही ये आएगा पहला साइकिल, एंड दैट इज गॉन. ओके, सो यू कैन कैलकुलेट इट ऑल्सो. 50 हर्ट्ज अगर आपका है तो एक साइकिल आप कैलकुलेट कर सकते हैं और कुछ ही मिली सेकेंड्स में आपका आर्क क्वेंच हो जाता है. यू कैन कैलकुलेट दैट. ओके. Okay, another thing which we will frequently be talking about in the successive slides is about relays. So the concept of relays should be very clear that relays are nothing but switches. Relays क्या है? कुछ नहीं है. They are switches, and relays को क्या है? They operate at a very small current. इनको खुद को बहुत कम करंट चाहिए होता है, बट दे आर यूज फॉर एप्लीकेशंस ऑफ वेरी हाई वोल्टेज एप्लीकेशंस के लिए ये यूज किए जा सकते हैं. ये कंट्रोल बहुत हाई पावर एप्लीकेशंस या अप्लायंसेस को कर सकते हैं. ठीक है. एंड हाउ डू दे डू दैट? द मैकेनिज्म इज, दिस इज वेरी सिंपलिस्टिक एक्सप्लेनेशन ऑफ द मैकेनिज्म ऑफ अ रिले. सो लुक एट दिस नंबर 1 पॉइंट हियर. ओके, सो इन दिस केस द रिले इज ओपन. ये आपका पावर सर्किट है. ये जो रेड बना हुआ है ना, ये आपका पावर सर्किट है. यहाँ और भी कुछ कंपोनेंट्स हो गए, दिखाया नहीं गया है. यहाँ पे आप इमेजिन कीजिए यू हैव अ बिग पावर सर्किट हियर. ओके, सो रिले इस बड़े से पावर सर्किट में छोटा सा आपने एक कॉन्टैक्ट इस तरीके से डिस्कनेक्ट कर दिया, जो रिले से कंट्रोल्ड है. सो नाउ योर सर्किट इज ब्रोकन, एंड योर सर्किट इज ब्रोकन, सो ऑफ कोर्स द पावर सर्किट इज नॉट ऑपरेशनल. नाउ व्हेन यू गिव पावर, व्हेन यू, अब ये रिले को जब एनर्जाइज करना है, अगर ये इस स्विच के थ्रू आप एनर्जाइज करते हैं, यहाँ आप पावर देते हैं, तो this coil will get energized, and when this coil get energized, this core magnet जो है ना इसके अंदर का, ये ऊपर की ओर मूव होने लगता है. it moves up, and when it moves up, it establishes contact. It makes the power circuitry complete. It closes it basically, and the power circuit is again operational. Okay, fully operational. So relay का अपना एक completely different circuitry है. It has nothing to do with the power circuit, but it is interlocked with another major circuit. ये अनदर मेजर सर्किट के साथ इंटरलॉक्ड है, और इसको अगर किसी तरीके से हम एनर्जाइज करवा देते हैं तो इसका कांटेक्ट अगर किसी तरीके से हमारे पावर सर्किट को बंद कर देता है, सो वी एस्टैब्लिश कनेक्टिविटी. ओके, so that is this is the basic concept of relay. I hope this is clear. Okay, so already I am lagging behind. I'm extremely sorry. अब आते हैं थोड़ा सा, अब थोड़ा डिटेल में अब थोड़ा घुसेंगे. ये दिस थिंग हैज बीन डिस्कस, आई थिंक, जस्ट अ रिवीजन. OHE, पैंटो, VCB, मेन ट्रांसफार्मर, टैप चेंजर, मेन रेक्टिफायर, स्मूथिंग रिएक्टर. ओके, ये हो गया है. अब आते हैं इस सर्किट को. इस सर्किट को देखें जरा प्लीज. Most of you, some of you must have seen this. Those of you who have not seen this, please don't get intimidated. It's very simple to understand. Okay, so just have a look for a few seconds. Just have a look. Okay, we start from this point. This is the OHE. We know that. What is PT? What is PT? What is PT?
Potential transformer.
There is a potential transformer. Okay, and what is this red thing? This is pantograph. Okay, so this what is this ABB? This should not be ABB actually. This should be VCB, because I have taken it from the, as I said, from a manual. The pehle there is something called as air blast circuit breaker was being used, but now we are using VCB. So this is basically a VCB here. Okay, so panto se power, it is coming to a VCB. ठीक है. There is something written as EAS. EAS is your sort of your earthing arrangement. ठीक है, it is a earthing device for earthing. Okay, and this LA is your surge cum lightning arrestor. वो वीडियो में आपने देखा था. This is a surge cum lightning arrestor. If there is a lightning outside, or if there are very powerful transient fluctuation in the internal supply here in the primary side, then उसके लिए ये surge cum lightning arrestor दिया है to dissipate power, to earth it actually. Okay, so ये उसके लिए दिया गया है. But the important thing here is, just look at here that VCB, यहाँ पे अगर हमने connection establish कर दिया, power is coming from your transformer, and now अब इधर आ गया. This is your primary winding of the transformer. This is the primary side, primary winding of the transformer. Now someone's microphone is on. किसी का microphone on है. Mr. Hanumant Rao, please. हाँ, thank you. So now here there is something called as OLP. You can see ये कुछ एक OLP दिया हुआ है यहाँ पे. So this is OLP is nothing. It is overload protection for primary winding. ठीक है, this is the overload protection for primary winding. इसका क्या रेटिंग है, कितने पे ये ट्रिप होगा, I will discuss in the slides. Okay, but you just understand that this is basically an overload relay. अगर यहाँ पे जरूरत से ज्यादा करंट आ गया ट्रांसफार्मर में, this will get tripped. This will get tripped and it will prevent further supply to the transformer. So that is its purpose. Okay. So now here power, imagine everything is right, power comes to your main transformer, primary winding. इधर दूसरे साइड से यहाँ पे हम अर्थ कर देते हैं व्हील्स के थ्रू, तो सर्किट, इधर वाला सर्किट कंप्लीट हो गया. अब यहाँ प्राइमरी साइड से we have these, you know, these transformation is taking place, and this is the secondary side. In secondary side you can see this is 1, this is 2, this is 3. You can see 4 windings. I think you can see clearly 4 windings. ये जो पहले दोनों हैं, these are the traction windings. यहाँ से हम जो टेक ऑफ करेंगे पावर प्राइमरी सेकेंडरी साइड से, ये ट्रैक्शन पर्पस के लिए हमारे ट्रैक्शन मोटर में जाएगा आगे चल के. और ये जो 2 ऑक्सिलरी वाइंडिंग्स हैं, ये बाद में बात करेंगे. ठीक है, इसको भूल जाइए. तो नाउ दिस प्राइमरी साइड ट्रैक्शन साइड वाइंडिंग also are of 2 types. There is a tapped winding, there is an untapped winding, and it is very obvious also because tapped winding में आप देखिए यहाँ पे बीच बीच में टैपिंग लिया गया है. Some tappings have been taken, and the untapped side no such tapping is there. The entire coil has, the entire winding, this winding has been utilized to take the power. But यहाँ पे हमने tapping किया हुआ है. So what is the significance of these tapped windings? Anyone?
According to notch, sir, notch position.
Yeah, मतलब yes.
Speed
exactly.
control.
So for basically
Speed control.
Exactly, it's speed control. So if I take the T1, this is these are all are open currently. अगर मैं, मुझे फर्स्ट नॉच के आसपास कुछ चलाना है, अगर मैं ये 1 को बंद करूंगा, तो है ना, ओनली दिस मच पार्ट ऑफ द टैप्ड वाइंडिंग, इतना ही आपको पावर ट्रांसफॉर्म होके आपको सेकेंडरी साइड पे मिलेगा. ओनली दिस मच, दिस पोर्शन यू विल गेट. ओके, सिमिलरली इफ यू क्लोज T2 यू विल गेट दिस मच पावर, you close T3 you will get this much power, और उस तरह से बढ़ता जा रहा है. So you can see the whole layout. Okay, So that is the basic purpose of tapping. So how much power, कितना हम power finally traction motors में distribute करके देने वाले हैं. Power is multiplication of voltage and current, उसको हम distribute करके किसी भी form में दें. So that is managed through these tappings. ठीक है. So speed control, that is right. So so this is clear. We have some tap change. These are contactors. Okay, T1, T2, T3, T4, T5, T6. These are contactors. इनको tap changing contactors भी कहते हैं. These are tap changing contactors. Okay, I think this thing is clear. So again, we'll come back to the same figure, but I will just continue again. So current from 25 kV OHE, pantograph, vacuum circuit breaker, and it comes to this side and to the tap changer. Okay, so the 25 kV primary voltage is stepped down to 782 volts. Ideally ये सेकेंडरी साइड पे ये जो है ये 782 है. अगर ये सारे वाइंडिंग्स को हम यूटिलाइज करें कैलकुलेट इसके यहां और यहां अगर मैं पोटेंशियल डिफरेंस मेजर करूंगा, आई विल गेट अ रीडिंग ऑफ 782 वोल्ट्स सिंगल फेज एसी. ओके, बट इफ आई यूज दिस एंटायर टैपिंग देन ओनली, बट आई डोंट यूज द एंटायर टैपिंग. ओके, so the transformer secondary consists of two separate tapped and untapped portions equally divided. तो divided by 2 करेंगे तो this will be 391. this entire part में आपको 391 मिलेगा and the remaining untapped part also will get 391. okay, right, and this tapped portion also is further subdivided. you can see it is further subdivided into 5 segments. ठीक है, 5 1 2 3 4 5 tappings are there. so we will divide this by 5. you will get something I think around 78.2 or something you will get. Okay, so 1/2 tapped winding is divided into 5 sections, each 78.2 volts. Is this thing clear or is there any doubt? यहां तक क्लियर है?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Clear.
So this is so ये जो पहला T1 में अगर सिर्फ T1 यूटिलाइज करें तो 78.2 मिलेगा. अगर हम T2 करेंगे तो कितना मिलेगा वोल्टेज?
Why is it 78.2?
सॉरी
156.4.
correct. मतलब multiplied by 2, 78.2 multiplied by
Yes.
2, so similar like that. Okay, so this thing you have understood. Okay, so that is the thing. Okay, in the first half of the notching sequence only the tapped portion of the winding is used, while the remaining notches both tapped and untapped are used. तो पहले जो 10 notches लगते हैं, for the first 10 notches only the tapped portion is used, and for the remaining 12 notches we have 22 notches in total. 22 notches. Okay, so for the first 10 we use this tapped portion in a stepped manner. ठीक है, and for the remaining we use the untapped portion. Okay, so 22 notches. और वो कैसे होगा वो भी मैं बताऊंगा आपको. So there is also a changeover switch which we establish using W1 and W2 contactors. W1 and W2. यहाँ पे there is one W1 and W2 here. ये changeover है. This is basically to connect the tapped portion with the untapped portion. जब हम second half में जाएंगे, जब हम 10 notch के ऊपर जाएंगे तो हम W1 के थ्रू भी कनेक्ट कर सकते हैं, हम W2 के थ्रू भी कनेक्ट कर सकते हैं. So for that purpose it has been provided. Okay. So okay. Okay, so EAS, which was again it is the earthing switch, of course. It is provided on the roof of the motor coach, and it is to connect all HT equipments to earth before handling the HT equipments. So sometimes HT equipment में हमें कोई repair work या कुछ करना है, so panto तो हमने lower कर दिया है, but this earthing switch से क्या होता है, if there is any residual electricity in our equipments, it will get earthed through the earthing switch. Okay, and it will be safe for us to work on it. Then lightning arrestor also I have said, so I'll just skip. Sorry for that. Sorry about that. Okay, so tapping contactors T1 से T6 and transfer contactors T7, T8, T9. There are 3 contactors here: T7, T8. Oh, sorry, T7, T8, T9. We have 3 tapping contactors. Okay, all these tap changing contactors are provided in a tap changer box. It is mounted on the motor coach under frame. एक tap changer box अलग से होता है. ठीक है. There is an RTL which is provided, which is resistance for TL. इसके बारे में आगे मैं बात करूंगा. ठीक है. So what is basically done is that contactors T1 and T6 are connected to transformer tapings and the required voltage is selected. Tap changing is carried out by means of a reactor which is called the tap changing reactor. Short form में we call it TL, in conjunction with the two switches T7 and T8 to provide alternate notches. Okay, so so what I will show you is I will show you the notching sequence now to make it little clear now. This is basically which of the switches, which of the contactors are remaining closed during which notch. This distribution is there. So we have an off condition, we have a shunt condition, we have a half shunt condition, and then we have full power condition. So so for example, let us take the second notch. शंट कंडीशन में सेकंड नॉच में W1 ये क्लोज्ड रहेगा, T1 टैप चेंजिंग कॉन्टैक्टर क्लोज रहेगा एंड ट्रांसफर स्विच T8 क्लोज्ड रहेगा. W1 T1 T8. Okay, let us go back. W1 this will be closed, T1 will be closed, T8 यहाँ ऊपर है, this will be closed. नाउ आप इन तीनों को क्लोज करके आप करंट का आप अभी खुद ही प्लॉट कीजिए कहां से पावर जाएगा. सो व्हाट यू विल फाइंड, इट विल गो लाइक दिस. फर्स्ट यहां से सेकेंडरी आया, एक यहां से गया, फिर यहां से ऊपर हियर एंड T8 इज क्लोज. सो हियर OL6 के थ्रू होते हुए आपके इधर रेक्टिफायर, ये इधर पॉजिटिव साइड हो गया. नेगेटिव साइड में यहां से ये इधर से T1 है तो दिस साइड इट इज कमिंग डाउन, W1 से नीचे गोइंग थ्रू द ड्रॉपिंग रिएक्टर. यहाँ DL इज द ड्रॉपिंग रिएक्टर और यहाँ के थ्रू यहाँ आपके दिस इज बेसिकली नथिंग बट योर रेक्टिफायर. ओके, सो दिस इज द सर्किट and we have only tapped 78.2 volts and we have gone through this. Okay, this is the very one basic notch. Okay, अब आगे देखते हैं anything else, maybe the fifth notch में क्या होगा. So W1 T3 T7 and T9. W1, okay, this is closed, T3 will be closed and T7 and T9 will be closed. ठीक है. So now ignore this thing, this is open. So T3, now this hole will be utilized. Here the current will go from here, it will go here and it has to go through T7 and T9. तो यहाँ से आपका पावर करंट इधर से मुड़ जाएगा T9 TL के थ्रू T7 के थ्रू टू द इन्वर्टर. और डाउन साइड में क्योंकि W1 है तो अगेन डाउन साइड में इट विल बी सेम एज लास्ट टाइम, इधर से डाउन आके W1 के थ्रू ड्रॉपिंग रिएक्टर के थ्रू इधर. So if you follow this notching sequence, you just follow it step by step, whatever is written, you can easily establish the circuit diagram, which circuit diagram will be followed, and you will realize that what we are basically doing is we are changing how much amount of tapping we are utilizing for supplying power to the traction motor. That is the thing which we are doing, and by doing that only we are controlling the speed of the traction motor. Okay, or RPM, whatever you may call it. Okay. So now here there is something called as a TL, which is the tap changing reactor. It is switched into a circuit during alternate electric notches to give an intermediate increase in voltage to make notching and hence acceleration smoother. Okay, so what you will find is that when you follow this sequence, you see you will observe a pattern here that for one notch we have T8, the other notch we have T8 plus T9. Then we have T7, then we have T7 plus T9. तो जब in these alternate odd notches, what you will find कि आपके सर्किट में जब आप फ्लो देखेंगे तो TL will come into the picture. This TL, it will come into the picture. Okay, so the purpose of having this TL in the current flow circuitry is to basically provide smoother steps in your acceleration. Okay, फॉर एग्जाम्पल अगर आपने बाइक चलाई हो, बाइक में आप व्हेन यू आर चेंजिंग द गियर, क्लच से पकड़ के जब व्हेन यू आर चेंजिंग द गियर, समटाइम्स यू सी सम ट्रांजिशन इन द स्पीड ना, आरपीएम में सडन चेंज, क्योंकि वो गियर रेशियो चेंज होता है. ऑफ कोर्स दैट इज अ गियर बेस्ड ड्राइव, इट हैज नथिंग टू डू विद दिस, बट यू सी द ट्रांजिशन. सो दैट काइंड ऑफ अ सडन ट्रांजिशन, आई मीन आप अभी 30 kmph के लिए ठीक है, अदर नेक्स्ट नॉच पे अगर इधर ट्रांजिशन गोज टू सडनली टू 40 kmph, दैट इज नॉट वेरी स्मूथ ट्रांजिशन. But maybe अगर next notch में you get 35 kmph, तो 5 kmph का margin is considered to be a smooth transition. So you will smoothly transition across your speed range 20, 25, 30, 35. आप smoothly transition करेंगे आपके speed range पे, and it will be a smooth stepped acceleration actually, and you won't feel that कि sudden notching हुआ, suddenly झटका लगा and your rolling stock is suddenly accelerating or decelerating or that sort. Okay, so in order to do that, to provide smooth transition, this TL has been provided, which is the tap changer reactor. Okay. Similarly, we have a dropping reactor on the downside. यहाँ पे, sorry, we have a dropping reactor DL. Whenever the current passes through a dropping reactor, the purpose of this dropping reactor is to steepen the notching curves on low taps and thus to reduce the notching current swing. Whenever there is notching, of course there will be an inrush of current. ठीक है, आपका करंट फ्लो सडनली बढ़ेगा क्योंकि आपने ज्यादा पावर लिया है, आपने ज्यादा पावर अलाउ किया है सेकेंडरी सर्किट में. So that sudden current influx is not very good for the equipment, for the traction motor. उसके इफेक्ट को कम करने के लिए that dropping reactor has been provided. Okay. तो and जो आपके notching curves हैं वो smoothly लगेंगे उसके वजह से. That is why it has been provided. ठीक है. Okay, so this notching sequence, I hope if you follow this, this will be very clear to you. It is simple that you follow this notching sequence and you will know how much power is being tapped. So once the power comes to your rectifier, and this is the rectifier here, very simple portraying of this rectifier. Okay, so from this rectifier you see that your power is going to an SL. Your current is going to an SL. What is SL? Anyone? What does SL stand for?
Smoothing reactor.
What is the purpose
Smoothing
of
reactor?
What is the purpose of smoothing reactor?
Sir, any surges?
What are the DC
Surge current.
that refers to
Ripples. Yes, ripples. Correct. You see, this AC, ideally in a rectifier, this AC should become like this, DC. This is what we expect. This is our expectation. But what is the reality? The reality is something like this. We generally get a pulsating DC. क्या कहते हैं इसको? Pulsating DC. And we always get it. So this pulsating DC is of course not good for our traction motors. So in order to filter out these pulsations, कुछ नहीं है, it is nothing but an RC filter only. Okay. वो उनको smoothen out करने के लिए एक smoothing reactor दिया गया है. वो भी reactor वो जो choke tank है उसमें रहता है. Okay. So this smoothens out that particular thing. Okay. Then उसके बाद then you see your current is going to an over voltage relay. Again ये सारे over volt protection के मैं exact values आगे बताऊंगा. This is basically to prevent over voltage at this stage. If by any chance if there is over voltage, it is to prevent that. Okay. So power now, if it is clear through this, it goes here. And here you are seeing a box where it is written ASL1 and ASL2. What is ASL? What does ASL stand for?
Additional smoothing
Additional ASL.
Additional smoothing reactor. This is additional smoothing reactor. This has been, we are still not confident with the performance, about the performance of smoothing reactor. So just to be safer, we provide additional smoothing reactor before each and every traction motor. हर ट्रैक्शन मोटर के साथ सीरीज में एक एडिशनल स्मूथिंग रिएक्टर हमने लगा दिया है, जस्ट इन केस कुछ और रिपल जितने भी हैं, जितना भी हम रिपल हटा सके हटा के, जितना स्टेबल डीसी दे सके हम देंगे. तो दैट इज फॉर दैट ओनली इट हैज बीन गिवन. ओके. And then this is again overload relay before the traction motor, and this is a motor contactor positive side, this is motor contactor negative side, and CLR is current limiting relay, which I will talk about. But the important thing is now your current gets here, it gets distributed into these four branches, and it goes to TM1, TM2, TM3, TM4. ठीक है, ये चार ट्रैक्शन मोटर में गया. यहाँ पे there is something written as K1, K1, K2, K2. What is this K1, K1, K2, K2? It is the reverser. It is basically the reverser. Actually the direction of flow of current into the traction motor if you want to control, है ना, फॉरवर्ड जाना है रिवर्स जाना है, तो उसके लिए K1 से ये TM1 TM2 कंट्रोल होंगे, K2 से T3 TM3 TM4 कंट्रोल होंगे. The direction of flow of current decides the clockwise या anti clockwise movement of the traction motor. तो उसको कंट्रोल करने के लिए होते हैं. ठीक है. Then we have an ammeter switch basically to maintain see how much current is flowing into the traction motor. ये फीडबैक हम यहाँ से लेते हैं, आपके जो ड्राइवर केबिन में जो फीडबैक जाता है कि कितना करंट है, टीएम करंट, वो यहाँ से जाता है. तो एमीटर स्विच है, ये सीरीज में लगा हुआ है. ठीक है. सो दिस इज ओवरऑल, दिस इज द लेआउट, एंड दिस EFRP, HEFRP, दिस इज अर्थ फॉल प्रोटेक्शन डिवाइस. ये अर्थ कोई भी कंपोनेंट अर्थ हो जाता है तो यहाँ से हम अर्थ फॉल प्रोटेक्शन के लिए ये सिस्टम दे रखे हैं. सो दिस इज मोर और लेस योर पावर सर्किट स्टार्टिंग टू एंड तक, ठीक है। अब इसी के बारे में आगे और थोड़ा क्लैरिफिकेशन मैं बताऊंगा। देन रेक्टिफायर हमने पहले ही बोला, वी हैव 6 ब्रिज रेक्टिफायर्स, ओके। सो वी नो दैट द पर्पस ऑफ व्हाट इज द पर्पस ऑफ रेक्टिफायर्स, ओके। एंड फ्रॉम द रेक्टिफायर द योर डीसी गोज इनटू अ स्मूथिंग रिएक्टर। स्मूथिंग रिएक्टर क्या करता है? स्मूथिंग रिएक्टर डीसी आउटपुट से it eliminates the AC ripples, and then we also have the additional smoothing reactor also, ठीक है। Then each motor is protected by an overload relay which trips the motor contactor in case of overload, excessive अगर voltage हो गया तो वो motor को trip कर देता है। So we saw here, this is the OL1, OL2, this is the overload relay, okay। It trips the motor if there is any kind of an overload. Just a minute. So if in overload relay, generally it gets activated if the current in this segment if is more than 900 amperes. अगर 900 एम्पियर से ज्यादा करंट यहाँ पे फ्लो करता है, 900 amperes or more, then this overload relay, this will get activated, okay, and it will stop the progression, of the notches. नॉच आपके आगे प्रोग्रेस होना बंद हो जाएंगे, उसी पे कांस्टेंट रह जाएंगे, ठीक है। ठीक है। देन मोटर 1 and 3 have current limiting relays connected to the circuit to control the automatic acceleration of the train. Okay, the normal setting of the relay is 500 amperes, which is reduced to 425 amperes immediately before the transition from notch 10 to notch 11 for weak field, okay। So ये जो current limiting relay है, again at the purpose is to limit इस negative side पे जो हमारा current है उसको limit करने के लिए up to 500 amperes it has been given, okay। Earth fault relay, it basically trips the VCB in the event of an earth fault occurring in any part of the motor circuit. So this earth fault relay, I'll go back again, this EFRP, this earth fault relay, this has been provided to trip the VCB. It is interlocked with this VCB. In case of any earth fault in any of the components, it trips the supply only, it trips. So we do not take any power only if any earth fault relay comes up. Okay, choke tank, SL, DL, TL. Okay, this has been discussed. So now next, we have basically discussed about the traction circuit. Now we'll talk about the auxiliary circuit. So you remember that there were a few auxiliary windings. There were 2 auxiliary windings, okay. And in the what are the auxiliary units which we need to power? There is an oil pump, which जिसको हमें चलाना है, okay. What is the purpose of the oil pump?
Letting the transformer.
Right. So earlier we discussed that there is a circulating oil going to transformer. For that there is an oil pump. So the pump needs some power. So that is one of the auxiliary. There are radiator fans to cool, of course, and then main rectifier fan. As I said, in the rectifier, the diodes, the heat sink may get heated up. So uske heat ko dissipate karne ke liye we have rectifier fans. Then we have a battery charger in order to charge the battery. Auxiliary compressor, main compressor is there. Okay, in सबको power up करने के लिए we have the auxiliary circuits. Okay, also the passenger lights and passenger fans also. So there are 2 auxiliary circuits, 2 tappings you have seen, one 266 volt AC tapping single phase and one 141 volt AC single phase tapping. These 2 tappings are there. Now 266 का समझते हैं. It is basically used to feed the battery charger and single phase induction motors driven auxiliary machines. Okay, तो सिंगल फेस पे चलने वाले मोटर्स हैं उनको ड्राइव करने के लिए और बैटरी चार्जर को चलाने के लिए 266 वोल्ट एसी आउटपुट हम यूज करते हैं, ठीक है। सो वेयर इज द डायग्राम, जस्ट अ मिनट, या सो बस जस्ट हैव अ लुक एट दिस डायग्राम. So 25 kV, this is the auxiliary winding, 25 converted to 266 here, ठीक है। We have protected it by 100 ampere का fuse on both ends, and then here there are some equipments attached, okay. OP, what does OP stand for? OP stands for oil pump. So OP stands for your oil pump. What does RF stand for? What is RF? Radiator fan. Okay.
Radiator fan.
What is this KF1, KF2?
कूलिंग फैन है वो तो कूलिंग के लिए है सर.
चलेगा. हाँ, KF1 KF2 इज द रेडिएटर फैन. ओके, सो ये जो चार चीजें हैं जो पैरेलल में लगे हुए हैं, यू कैन सी दिस इज पावर्ड बाय दिस 266 वोल्ट सिंगल फेज AC लाइन, एंड दीज आर नथिंग बट ऑल इंडक्शन मोटर्स. ये सारे के सारे इंडक्शन मोटर्स ऑपरेटेड हैं. ठीक है, यहां पे फिर एक और पैरेलल में लाइन है जहां पे एक NVR लगा हुआ है. व्हाट इज NVR? नो वोल्ट रिले. ओके, नो वोल्ट रिले, NVR स्टैंड्स फॉर नो वोल्ट रिले. सो NVR इसलिए प्रोवाइड किया गया है, बेसिकली ये जो व्हीटस्टोन, ये जो ब्रिज है, अगर यहाँ पे कोई पावर नहीं आता है तो ये NVR इसको डिटेक्ट करेगा, एंड वंस इट डिटेक्ट्स दैट मींस नो पावर इज कमिंग हियर, नो पावर इज कमिंग हियर. सो दैट पॉसिबली मींस दैट देयर इज नो पावर कमिंग हियर, प्राइमरी वाइंडिंग में ही पावर नहीं आ रहा है, सो देयर इज सम फॉल्ट. तो इसलिए एक NVR ऑक्सिलरी सर्किट में भी हमने प्रोवाइड कर रखा है टू डिटेक्ट कि पावर हमारा आ भी रहा है कि नहीं प्राइमरी साइड से कि नहीं. Okay, so this NVR, that is why it has been provided. Then another parallel here is the battery charger, where the battery charger circuit is there. It basically converts AC into DC, kind of you can say इसमें AC to DC conversion होता है, and this DC is supplied to the battery. ये DC से हम बैटरी चार्जिंग करते हैं. तो ये आपका 266 वोल्ट का जो फर्स्ट ऑक्सिलरी नेटवर्क है उसका सेटअप है. एंड द डिटेल्स अबाउट this thing, the oil pump. This oil pump is there to provided to circulate transformer oil to keep it cool and all. Okay, motor is 4-pole squirrel cage induction motor, and 1.5 HP rating, 240 volt AC पे लगभग चलता है, and 50 hertz, and this is the basically the rating, pump capacity and the head. This is the oil pump. Similarly, radiator fan 0.5 HP, 240 volt AC, 50 hertz single phase पे चलता है, 1400 RPM around, and the purpose is एयर फोर्स्ड कूलिंग ऑफ ट्रांसफार्मर ऑयल, उसके लिए होता है. ये भी ऑक्सिलरी 1 सर्किट से दिया जाता है. देन रेक्टिफायर कूलिंग के लिए जो दो फैंस हैं, KF1 KF2 हमने बात किया था. 1 HP का है इंडक्शन मोटर, 240 वोल्ट AC, सिंगल फेज, 3.6 एम्पियर, 1430 RPM. ओके, नाउ लेट्स मूव टुवर्ड्स ऑक्सिलरी सर्किट नंबर 2. In auxiliary circuit number 2, 25 kV is converted to 141 volt secondary winding. This 141 volt is supplied to something called as an ASR. What is ASR? This is an auxiliary rectifier. This is basic है ना, auxiliary rectifier है ये. ठीक है, so this auxiliary rectifier, what does it does, or what does it do, is that it converts this AC into DC, 110 volt DC, and that DC is supplied to this compressor. So this compressor is DC operated. तो उसके लिए ये कन्वर्ट करता है, और ये अपना मेन कंप्रेसर है. तो वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट है, this main compressor actually for all the pneumatic operations, we are EP contactors, or all the pneumatic operations which we do in the coach, for that we have the main compressor. So this is very important. Okay, this auxiliary rectifier, तो उसको ये पावर सप्लाई करता है. This 141 volt AC is converted into 110 volt DC supplied to the main compressor. Okay, yeah, so 141 volt AC सर्किट से बेसिकली मेन कंप्रेसर को हम पावर देते हैं. द मेन कंप्रेसर वर्क्स ऑन 110 वोल्ट DC, 8.5 किलोवाट रेटिंग, एंड 1150 RPM अराउंड. एंड इस पैसेंजर लाइट एंड फैन भी इससे हम देते हैं सप्लाई. 32 फैंस को, लाइट्स को, इमरजेंसी लाइट्स को भी हम ये ऑक्सिलरी 141 वोल्ट AC जो सप्लाई है उससे पावर देते हैं. ठीक है, this side, this power is going here, it is written, I hope you are able to see, to light and fan circuit. ये जो पावर जा रहा है बेसिकली वो जो सारा इक्विपमेंट्स हैं वो डायरेक्टली जो इधर 141 वोल्ट AC है वो हम लोग लाइट और फैन सर्किट में डायरेक्ट इनपुट कर देते हैं. Okay, so now we will talk about the protective devices which are there in the complete setup, in the complete power circuit. We had a lightning arrestor, surge arrestor, we have spoken about that. There is an overload protection for the primary side of the winding, which is here, this OLP. ये जो है overload protection device है प्राइमरी साइड पे, है ना. अगर करंट 163 एम्पियर से ज्यादा हो जाता है, if current is more than 163 एम्पियर, बेसिकली यहाँ पे करंट ट्रांसफार्मर होता है इस OLP पे. ठीक है, ये 163 एम्पियर को करंट ट्रांसफार्मर स्टेप डाउन करके 0.7 एम्पियर पे रखता है. ठीक है, तो हम बेसिकली इस 0.7 एम्पियर की वैल्यू को मॉनिटर करते हैं. इफ इट बिकम्स मोर देन 0.7 एम्पियर एट दिस पॉइंट, that means the supply current which is coming from the OHE from the BCB is more than 163, and that means that there is a problem. This is overcurrent. So uske liye, uske protection ke liye we have given OLP. Okay. Similarly, traction motor overload relay OL1 to OL4. Here it is OL1 to OL4. These four, all these four relays, they operate at 900 ampere. All of these operate at 900 ampere. Okay, इससे ज़्यादा करंट नहीं जाना चाहिए. Then we have OL5 and OL6. OL5 and OL6 ट्रांसफार्मर सेकेंडरी साइड पे, जहां पे which ensure that 4000 एम्पियर से ज्यादा करंट ना फ्लो करे. OL5 and OL6 here. ठीक है. So this basically ensure अगर हम करंट हमारे रेक्टिफायर में जा रहा है तो इससे 4000 एम्पियर से ज्यादा पावर करंट ना जाए. Then we have current limiting relay, which is here. That there is a current limiting relay which limits current up to 500 ampere, and there is an earth fault relay which detects that if there is any potential difference of 50 volt, then this earth fault relay is activated, which is provided here. Okay. There is another OVR, which is the over voltage relay, which is somewhere here, this OVR. और इसमें क्या है कि अगर 540 वोल्ट से ज्यादा अगर वोल्टेज रहता है, then again this also ensures that no power goes into the traction motor. So these are the various protections which have been provided. These are the settings of these protection devices. Okay. And in this slide, in the ensuing slides, the things which I have told you just now, वही सारी चीजें लिखी हुई हैं. So I'll just not read them. You can go through it later. Okay. Okay. So now we come to the final section. EMU का complete electrical side से, power circuit side से, we have conventional EMU का we have discussed. We discussed about the primary winding, the traction winding wala part also we have discussed, and then the auxiliary winding also we have discussed. Now the bogie, the special case here in why we are discussing the bogie of the EMU or MEMU is that there is a difference. In MEMU generally you will find these type of bogies. Okay, and these are like normal ICF bogies only, where you have secondary stage, you have coil spring in secondary stage. Okay. But in case of EMU, you will find these kind of air spring suspension, secondary air suspension. This is there. Okay. So that is the difference at the bogie level in case of EMU and MEMU. So और कोई ज़्यादा कोई difference नहीं है. This is the only difference. It's going on. It will take. Okay. So then hydraulic shock absorbers. Okay, it is same as that ICF only. I'll skip. Actually, we already have exceeded our time. That is why I'm hurrying. Then I would like to talk about the final item, which is the semi-permanent Shaku coupler. So have you heard about these Shaku couplers, semi-permanent couplers? Have you heard about it? Have you seen it? Anyone? At least those who are in EMU and MEMU car sheds, they must have seen it. So these are very special type of couplers actually. इस कपलर में देखिए जो आपका BPFP का कनेक्शन भी है ना, ये जो बना हुआ है ऑरिफिस, ये इसी के थ्रू जाता है. यू सी द कनेक्शन इज गोइंग लाइक दिस. ये कपलर ऐसा है कि आपके ये BPFP कनेक्शन को भी सिक्योर रखता है, उसको भी कनेक्ट करता है, और कपलिंग तो करता ही है. इट डज द कपलिंग ऑल्सो. ओके. what is there in this coupling actually, this is the semi permanent type coupler. ये डेमो और EMU स्टॉक में ये यूज होता है. and we have a semi permanent type Delner coupler in train 18, which is little different from this this Shaku type coupler. उससे थोड़ा different है वो. I'm not an expert with the Delner coupler, but this Shaku coupler में क्या होता है, I know that there are two ends, there is end A and end B, and both ends of the coupler are connected by a muff coupling or a sleeve. Okay, जो center में होता है. I'll show you the animation. Okay. And the semi-permanent coupler also ensures safe connection of main air reservoir pipes and brake pipes. ये जो हमारे air brake pipe और इसका जो connection है, उसको भी ये ensure करता है, which I showed you here in the earlier image here. Through the pipelines, the air connections are going through these orifices. And these couplers are designed to take maximum not comprehensive, sorry, this is compressive load of 100 tons and maximum tensile load of 70 tons. ठीक है, compressive load 100 tons and tensile load of 70 tons ये ले सकते हैं. How does it compare in comparison to a CBC? Any idea? जो center buffer coupler which we are using in normal LHP, how much compressive and tensile load can a CBC take? Any idea? Does anyone have any idea?
सीबीसी में से 80 टन तक टेंसाइल लोड ले लेगा.
नहीं, 80 से थोड़ा ज्यादा है.
हाँ सर, 80 से थोड़ा ज्यादा होगा, लेकिन 80 टन से ज्यादा तो है ही, लेकिन 70 टन से ज्यादा मैं ये बोलना चाह रहा था.
हाँ, 100 लगभग 100 टन्स तक इट इज टेकिंग टेंसाइल एंड कंप्रेसिव सीबीसी कैन टेक अप टू 200
सर,
200 टन तक. तो अगर सीबीसी से इसको कंपेयर करें तो ऑफ कोर्स दीज ऑल आर लेस. ऑफ कोर्स कंप्रेसिव साइड से तो ये काफी कम है. मतलब वी कैन से कि ज्यादा कंप्रेसिव लोड लेने के लिए ये सॉर्ट ऑफ आप कह सकते हैं नॉट वेरी गुड टू टेक कंप्रेसिव लोड्स. एक्चुअली टेंसाइल लोड लेने के लिए ऑलमोस्ट कह सकते हैं गुड इनफ. टेंसाइल लोड अगर आप ट्रैक्टिव लोड अगर आ रहा है तो इट कैन टेक, बट आप सडन कंप्रेसिव लोड अगर आएगा, सो दिस इज नॉट वेरी गुड फॉर दैट, वी कैन से. But the advantage of this semi-permanent type coupler, why do we then use it? इसका क्या advantage है? अगर ऐसा है तो why are we using it in EMUs and demos? Any idea? Well, the obvious thing, one I think we had discussed in the very first lecture on DPRS only, that these couplers क्या है कि they are jerk free. What are they? They are jerk free. तो इसमें you will not get any kind of jerk. You will not get any kind of jerk. CBC में you get the jerks, but यहाँ पे this is jerk free. So that is the biggest advantage, because you are rapidly accelerating and decelerating in case of EMUs and MEMUs. आपका acceleration deceleration rapid होता है. तो if you have normal CBC couplers, you will get jerks. Continuous jerking मिलेगा, and that will be very actually detrimental from the ride comfort point of view. Okay,
सर मैं एक चीज पूछना चाह रहा था.
बताएं.
हेलो.
यस
सर मैं एक चीज पूछना चाह रहा था कि सर जब इसके पास टेंसाइल लोड भी ज्यादा है सीबीसी के पास, हमारे सीबीसी के पास, और कंप्रेसिव लोड भी ज्यादा है, तो सर ये फिर इसके रेस्पेक्ट में जर्क ज्यादा क्यों देता है?
नहीं, जर्किंग
की प्रॉब्लम तो है.
नहीं, जर्क इज नॉट ड्यू टू दिस लोडिंग. एक्चुअली जर्क इज ड्यू टू देखिए, सीबीसी में आप देयर इज आपका जो ड्राफ्ट गियर है, ठीक है.
हाँ सर,
ड्राफ्ट गियर योक और जो कपलर आर्म है, वहां पे देयर आर सम क्लियरेंस इश्यूज. ठीक है, एक वहां पे क्लियरेंस रहता है. सेकेंडली हाँ, और जो कपलर्स के बीच में जो एक देयर इज सम क्लियरेंस थोड़ा बहुत रह जाता है. ठीक है, वो
वहां पे
दीज टू थिंग्स मैं आई एम नॉट वेरी गुड एट ड्राइंग. आई विल ट्राई टू शो यू. तो इस तरीके से अगर बनाएं.
हाँ सर, ये अपना नकल टू नकल का जो,
हाँ नकल टू नकल, आप इमेजिन कि ये जो थोड़ा सा ये जो गैप रह गया ना, एक
हाँ नकल टू नकल का,
यहाँ पे एक लैटरल क्लियरेंस है थोड़ा, और फिर ड्राफ्ट गियर के साथ जहां पे ये माउंट होता है उस यहाँ पे भी थोड़ा प्ले है. देयर इज सम प्ले हियर आल्सो. ठीक है.
हाँ सर.
एंड ठीक है, तो इन दोनों की वजह से थोड़ा जर्क रहता है. सेकेंडली जो ड्राफ्ट गियर जो हम कहते हैं ना, बैलेंस्ड ड्राफ्ट गियर, जर्क फ्री ड्राफ्ट गियर, तो पहले के जो रेक्स थे उसमें बैलेंस्ड ड्राफ्ट गियर नहीं होते थे. उसमें क्या था, जो ड्राफ्ट गियर जो होता था, द ड्राफ्ट गियर कितना कंप्रेसिव और कितना टेंसाइल लोड ले सकता है, उसके अंदर भी स्प्रिंग यूनिट्स होते हैं. ठीक है, उसके अंदर भी स्प्रिंग यूनिट्स होते हैं, बट उसके जो रेटिंग होती है कि हाउ मच टेंसाइल एंड कंप्रेसिव लोड इट कैन टेक, ये कैलकुलेशन जब हमारे इंजीनियर्स ने किया होगा, थोड़ा मुझे लगता है गलत किया था. इनिशियल जो डिजाइन हमने यूज किया, वो यहाँ पे जो कंप्रेसिव और ये लोड आता है ये तो ले लेता है. देयर इज नो प्रॉब्लम विद द कपलर, द प्रॉब्लम इज विद द ड्राफ्ट गियर. यहाँ पे वो अब्सॉर्ब हो जाना चाहिए, वो अब्सॉर्ब नहीं हो पाता, और उस वजह से ये ट्रांसमिट हो जाता है टू द कोच, टू द शेल, और हम लोग को झटका, जो वी गेट द इम्पैक्ट स्पेशली मुझे लगता है मोर ड्यूरिंग द पुल, मोर ड्यूरिंग ट्रैक्शन. आई डोंट नो आपका क्या ऑब्जर्वेशन है. मुझे तो ऐसा लगता है कि ट्रैक्टिव पुल, जब ट्रेन सडनली स्टार्ट होती है तब ज्यादा झटका लगता है इन कंपैरिजन.
सर जब भी कहीं भी गाड़ी प्लेटफॉर्म पे खड़ी हुई ना सर, अगर फिर वो चलाएगा तो हर किसी को जर्क लगेगा.
हाँ, सो दैट मीन्स कि जो इसका ट्रैक्टिव वाला पार्ट है ना, जो लॉन्गिट्यूडनल जो टेंसाइल वाला लोड पार्ट है उसको वो सही से डैम्प नहीं कर पा रहा है, ठीक है। इट शुड बी
हाँ
एबल
सर
टू डैम्प इट। ट्रांसमिट तो ठीक है कर दे रहा है कपलर को, बट डैम्पिंग होना चाहिए सो दैट ये कोचेस को ट्रांसमिट नहीं होना चाहिए। दैट इज द कपलर टेक्नोलॉजी। और यहाँ पे
हाँ
मे
सर
बी वी हैव फेल्ड। अगेन आई एम नॉट एन एक्सपर्ट, बट जो मुझे मेरी अंडरस्टैंडिंग है दैट
हाँ
हियर
सर
वी हैव फेल्ड, एंड दैट इज व्हाई वी हैव दोस बैलेंस्ड टाइप ड्राफ्ट गियर्स कमिंग। एंड तो नाउ द हियर शाकू कपलर में क्या है कि देयर इज नो क्लियरेंस। यहाँ क्लियरेंस का फंडा ही नहीं है।
हाँ सर
क्योंकि
यही एक इसमें है।
हाँ है ना। आई
हाँ
विल
ये सबसे बड़ा है, ये प्लस पॉइंट है इसका सर।
ये वीडियो को मैं प्ले करने की कोशिश कर रहा हूँ। देयर इज अ वीडियो। हाँ, सो यू सी हियर दीज आर द इंटरमीडिएट ट्यूब्स, ठीक है। दिस इज द योक एंड यहाँ पे ये जो कपलिंग यहाँ पे है ना, ये कप स्लीव हमने चलाया है, यहाँ पे क्लियरेंस नहीं है। ये सेंट्रल पोर्शन है, यहाँ पे
हाँ
क्लियरेंस
सर
ना के बराबर क्लियरेंस है। और आपका जो बफिंग लोड और टेंसाइल फोर्स जो आता है ना, वो यहाँ पे इस पोर्शन में अच्छे से अब्सॉर्ब हो जाता है, ठीक है। सो परहैप्स दैट इज द रीजन वाई कि हम लोग ये ईएमयू और मतलब ट्रेन सेट पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से इनफैक्ट वर्ल्ड वाइड ऑल्सो, क्योंकि वर्ल्ड वाइड का ही देख के हमने अडॉप्ट किया होगा, दिस इज
हाँ
बीइंग
सर
यूज्ड। प्लस इसका लेवल भी जो होता है वो थोड़ा लोअर लेवल पे रहता है, आपने देखा होगा। इट इज
हाँ
एट
सर
लोअर
हाँ
लेवल इन कंपैरिजन टू द सीबीसी। दैट मे बी आल्सो वन
जी
डिजाइन फैक्टर, but I think that is why this is successful in case of train sets. Okay. Okay. So
ओके सर
okay, it's already 4:40. Sorry for the delay. That is all from my side. Is there any are there any questions by the audience?